Hello, Asmo's Users here, and I think I've stated this before in a previous video. I'm probably going to put up the link in the description and thumbnail in the end. But anyway, in my younger days, if it was when I was say basically from 10 onwards, I've been researching a lot into Australian bushrangers. The equivalent of outlaws in the early days of this country. And, well, of course, the big one that's well known around the world is Ned Kelly. I know pretty much everything there is about Ned Kelly. I've got plenty of books, borrow them from libraries. Yep, I'm basically a Ned Kelly historian. I know everything about the guy. But I don't know much about the family aspect. Okay, I know a bit about his brother Dan Kelly, who was in his gang. And I know a bit about some of his siblings and their families, but I've never really known that. But I haven't known that much until recently, when my grandfather lent me out a book of his. That being Mrs. Kelly. Yep, a book about Ned's mother. Now, this basically goes over the life of Ned's mother, Ellen Quinn, or Ellen Kelly, or Ellen Quinn before she was married. Basically tells about her upbringing in Ireland, how they family travelled to Australia, her meeting Ned's father Red, or the birth of her children, her many other marriages. Yeah, and basically what she was doing in prison while Ned and her sons Ned and Dan, along with their mates Joe Byrne and Steve Hart, were rowing banks around Australia, well, Victoria and South New South Wales. But yeah, so this is basically tells you what she was doing and what Ned's sisters were doing, and his remaining brother while he was on the run. Now, in many ways, there are some things I did not quite know, like some of how some of Ned's siblings were when they died, and a few other things as well. But it does sort of go into my route that I'm on the side that, okay, Ned, look, I don't know what side everyone's on when it comes to the Kelly arguments over the Kelly game. But in my view, I sort of see him as a heroic outlaw in a way. Yeah, he did all those horrible things, but his actions were justified due to the treatment of his family. And let's be honest, some of the stuff that he did, like murdering those 3 police officers, well, it's only confirmed he at least killed 2. The third one's debatable. It would have not happened had the police had not been treated so harshly, and also had the police officer who framed him and Ned and his mother for assaulting him, had he been caught or never happened, that the murders of those policemen would have never happened. But you know, basically, in the short end of the stick, this is a really good book. I definitely think any Ned Kelly historian should give it a go of reading. It's neat reading into more of Ned's family aspect, Ned's family, well, what their story was during the outbreak of the Kelly game. I'd say I give us a solid. Well, I'm not sure if I can fully review this honestly, but I would say this is a solid thumbs up in my view. I'll give it but if I had to give it a score, I'd go 9.5 out of 10 hand stars. Yep, I love this book. So anyway, what's next for my channel? Well, I've got a couple of film reviews I've got planned out. I will be reviewing Tenet as my next movie. I'm going to see that tomorrow. There's there's also the New Mutants coming out. I'm excited for that. And in terms of video games, there's Square Enix's The Avengers game, which I'm excited to play that. But that's for the future, and I'll see you then. But in the meantime, Hazmat is out, and such is life. Ciao.